Morning, everybody. It is Thursday, 8:15 a.m. Coming to you guys from the hospital. I've been laid up with a leg injury, but I have to come on because, guys, this Chicago thing is really the Purge law that they're deeming it. Well, Chicago's calling it the neighborhood safety law, but everybody else is calling it the Purge law. This is some crazy parallels because in the Purge movies, the Purge was a grand experiment to see that if everybody could get all the crime out of their system once a day, once a year, would they get, would crime go down? And what ended up happening is yes, crime went insanely down. It was nearly non-existent. Cops really were there for minor Karens and stuff like that. So, and why would you randomly commit a crime with the penalty of incarceration or on up, when once a year you can do it ever, no matter how insanely stupid or depraved or whatever it is. You could dabble your feet in any depravity you wanted without any reprisal. Well, guys, unfortunately, this Purge law is not one that will, curb hostilities. This will be just every day is Purge Day. Every night is Purge Day. I guarantee you guys, because, lawbreakers and criminals and stuff like that aren't stupid. They're like, they're in some ways like timid little bunnies. They'll sniff around a little bit and see if the coast is clear, twitch their ears a little bit, and then they'll go about their thing. They gotta see that the coast is clear. So the day this enacts, most likely there will be a 50% rise in across the board crime. and then it will go progressively up. Now, let me ask you a question, guys. One thing that is not listed in the approved things is carrying a weapon. But aggravated assault, typically according to its definition, is assault with a weapon. So, and yes, there is the charge that is assault with a deadly weapon. So, given about it's going to take about 3, 4, 5 weeks. The crime is going to start skyrocketing. People are not going to be feeling safe. People are going to start freaking the freak out. You're going to have either one of two things happen. And you see it on the Purge. People will either start barricading their homes and property, and they will harm themselves. If the police cannot protect me, I must protect myself. You know? Now, Chicago has got some of the most crazy, insane gun laws in the nation. Maybe seconded to Washington, but Chicago's is right up there. So, what's going to happen? Those who do not have like grandfathered weapons that came about before all this insanity happened will look to friends, relatives, and stuff like that outside of Chicago to get them a weapon. You'll have friends and you'll have people leaving Chicago, getting them a weapon, and coming back and, watching their stuff. Because as of, right now, there are no century security checkpoints getting in and out of Illinois that, searches your vehicle for guns. They already think that the reason there's guns in Chicago and Illinois is people are going outside of Illinois to buy them. What's going to happen? People are going to go outside of Illinois to go buy them. The average Joe who'd never really, he knew it was dangerous in the hood. But finally, he's going to need a weapon. Or you're going to have people packing up their family and leaving. There are hardcore guys that are die-hard Chicagoans, die-hard Illinoisans, and, they'll live there till they die. And with this new law, holy crap, it could be tomorrow. But That's the crazy stuff. Um, um, Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. You know, it is said that, the reason Chicago and Illinois doesn't report gang violence as mass shootings is because this violence is technically self-correcting. This is what I've heard. It is gang on gang with only minor collateral damage. And I'm going to say, any collateral damage is a huge tragedy. But just because person A is in this gang and he's in this house with his family, because they do have families, and gang B decides to put a hit on him, and not only does it kill, person A, it kills his whole family. That's a tragedy. That should be called a mass shooting. And, those weapons are not being hyped as ghost guns or anything, because they're stolen guns. They need to be taken off of the street as fast as possible. And also, they may be stolen guns, but guys, they can also be, totally legit guns bought through straw dealers, straw buyers, or these gangs are buying from bigger gangs. I mean, I guarantee you, as well armed and equipped as the Mexican drug cartel is, the name of the game for the Mexican drug cartel is money. If the Crips and Bloods could get them a lead or even a finger. Let's say an MS-13 guy is taken in one of these bus loads up to Chicago, and a Crip of Blood finds him, and the Crips and Bloods are pretty well organized. They've been around for a long time. They're established. I'm sure the cartels know who they are. They probably, consider them chump change. But if the Crips and Bloods decided they wanted to buy some automatic weapons, and they go through this MS-13 guy, he makes a couple of phone calls, and, they tell him, blank dollars, and they'll get him, automatic weapons. Boom, all of a sudden the Crips and Bloods have automatic weapons. And it's completely off the record because they're buying it from the Mexican drug cartel. It's really not that difficult, guys. In fact, the source of this, an MS-13 gang member, they've been coming into America, we've been hearing on the news they've been caught all over America, before we started busing, before Biden's team was planing them overnight, and stuff like that. But guys, this purge law, I give it 6 months. It's either going to be, the actual results will be ignored, the data will be cherry picked if possible, if not outright altered, and it will be touted as a success. Or it'll be such an outright failure that they're going to have to they're going to have to, repeal that, because one of the side effects to this law is the one thing the Democrats don't want to happen. They don't want you armed. They want you dependent on them for your safety. But this law basically turns off that safety. There's no one coming to help you guys. Literally. Even if you call, they're not going to come. Oh no, we can't come to that. Oh no, we won't come to that. It's not in our jurisdiction. Can you imagine being on 911 in a corner of your home, begging for assistance? Your spouse your brother, your sister was just beaten to within an inch of his life, his or her life, and you're in a corner in another room hearing all this happening, calling 911, and they tell you, sorry, nobody's coming. Look at the list, guys. Look at the list. Aggravated assault. They're in there beating someone with a bat. Sorry, no one's coming. But does this also mean that the news is going to turn off and they're not going to be reporting any of this stuff? So not only is nobody coming, after the assailants finally leave, you and the other person in your home are clinging to life, but no reporter's going to show up at your hospital room. The police will probably come to the hospital room and take a report. But it will go no further than that. The news is probably going to be hushed. And what was the news granted press, freedom of the press in the Constitution for? To report governmental and societal mishaps. Let's go, Brandon.